Sandra all the time is here with the cold hard truth. She's the ears and the eyes for me and you. Every day, everyone want to hear from Sandra. And every time on the air, she's getting better. So tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your mama, to call Sandra in the morning and in the evening. They always calling Sandra. And when they start fighting, they calling Sandra. And
That's right, folks. Everyone is telling their mama about the cold hard truth. Welcome to another episode with more truth-telling, more problem-solving, and of course, more tea spilling than ever before. Sit back, students, grab your tea and turn up the volume because class is now in session. Call in at 936-2626 because your voice matters. Share your opinion on issues that matter the most to you. Good morning, Cayman. Happy Hump Day, Wednesday. Yes, we are just sliding through this entire week. And in fact, this entire month is going by so quickly. Wowee. Anyway, what time? So we just work with it. Trust me, I'm sure the smartest people have tried to figure out a way. Although this isn't the right way to stop time, but apparently the heat of the earth, because of, they say, global warming, the days are longer. Is it longer or shorter? Which one is it? I think the days are longer. So we might actually be doing quite a number on the earth and the rotation of the days. And so there you go. That's one way to get more time, I guess, but not in a good way. What a mess. All right. Everybody doing good? Roll call. Good morning, beautiful folks. Hope you guys are having a fabulous week and a fabulous day so far. See a little bit of rain clouds out and about this morning. Some thunder in the eastern districts, but I don't think it's going to last for long. Based on what I saw, it looks like it's going to be kind of a rolling situation. Roll in and roll out. So, mind you, we have the proper weather service report if we wanted to read that. We're going to soon have our sponsor for that segment. So we'll do a proper good morning. This is your weather report from the CMR studio this morning. All right, honey child. How is everybody doing? Let me just check in on everyone. I see some people sending me some voice notes on WhatsApp, some happy birthday greetings. By the way, where's Aliano? I think we missed a birthday from one of her super fans. Oh gosh, Aliano, happy birthday. I'm assuming it was earlier this week. Don't know how we missed it, but hope that you had a fabulous one. And we got a lot to catch up with here today. So we are going to get right into it. So international news, I see that Mr. Netanyahu is actually in Washington, and he's going to be before Congress this morning. Quite interesting, because they've got tons of protests out there who are not particularly happy with what Israel is doing in the Middle East at the moment. And they're protesting. I think it was a couple hundred. Did it say that they were arrested? Anyway, they're using their democratic right to protest, that's for sure. And so the Republicans, generally speaking, are in favor of what Netanyahu is doing, apparently, whilst the Democrat, including President Biden, is telling him, you need a ceasefire. You need to stop this. This is madness. What a mess. It's horrible. It's really, really horrible. And he basically, his government's position is they're not going to stop until every single Hamas member has been wiped from the face of the earth. And I'm wondering, how are they going to ensure that? That seems like a tall order. And I really don't know how they're going to make that happen. What a hot mess. The world is crazy. So we'll continue to think about them and hope that governments try to make smarter decisions on behalf of the people, whose lives they impact every single day. I mean, so many people have been displaced by this war that it's, I'm not quite sure how military leaders and others can actually sleep at night. It's really, really quite a horrific situation, to be honest. I don't have all the world's solutions, that's for sure. I feel like I barely have any in Cayman, but I really hope that they can come to some sort of an understanding where there can be a ceasefire, because this is just madness. What are they saying? Eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth leaves the whole world toothless and blind. And that is certainly not what we want. Good morning, everybody. We got Shaka Zulu in the house. Good morning to you. We have Miss Connie here with us. Who else have we got? Siobhan is here. Hello, Miss Siobhan. She's here most mornings, I must say. So good to see you. Cece McLaughlin, thank you. I had to put on some moisturizer in my face today. First Lady Jan, hello, darling. How are you? Miss Jennifer Henry, hello, Jennifer. I haven't seen you in a while. How's everything going? So everybody getting ready for the Olympics? I think it starts in, is it 2 days? I need to check my calendar. It's coming up here shortly. Paris time, honey child. Oh, poor Paris. They've had their fair share of issues as well. What a hot mess. Damien. says that would be daylight savings. I think this might go beyond daylight savings time. Wait a minute. How did Zeus get in the office today? Hello, Zeus. What are you doing in the studio? He opened the door. I need somebody to close the door back. This dog has figured out how to open doors. Not a word of lie. But he knows how to open the sliding glass door too. He just pushes it to one side. He's getting smart now. He's still a puppy, but he's figuring things out. Trust me. I'm like, how did you do that? How did you push open this door? Good morning, Anna. Anna says, good morning, honey chow. Good morning, honey chow. I don't know what it is about that saying that y'all just love. Everywhere I go, people are like, oh, hello, honey chow. Miss Carneth, good morning to you. Barbara G in the house. Miss Connie says, Aliana was mad he did not get any brownies. Oh my gosh. At this rate, you guys are going to have me making brownies as a full-time job. It's just a hobby. Oh my goodness. Don't worry, I'm going to make some more this weekend. I'm kind of playing around with the brownie recipe a little bit. So, in fact, this time I did some chocolate, kind of like a layer of chocolate on top. I'm going to play around with that because I think the way to do it is to have the chocolate swirls like on the inside of the brownie. So I'm still fiddling with the recipe a bit. So bear with me as I try to get a new brownie recipe underway. Nothing like the original for sure, but I've been feeling adventurous recently in the kitchen. So I'm going to improvise until I figure out something new. And then, it's always good to have variety because sometimes you feel like brownies with nuts, brownies without nuts, brownies with chocolate swirls, brownies without chocolate swirls. So we're gonna figure a few little things out. But yes, some new people got to try the brownies this time around. Got to share the love. We can't just give it to Johan all the time because God knows he's talking about he's going to double up in his diabetic medication. Well, we don't want him to do that. So, oh my goodness. Oh, Kevin got to try the brownies this time, Kevin Watler, and he decided that he was going to put up a post discouraging all of you from the brownies, saying that, oh my gosh, I agree with Johan. They're completely dry. Don't try them. Don't ask Sandy for any brownies. Johan and I will take one for the team. Oh, so funny. All right. A couple international headlines around the world. We've got a plane crash in Nepal. Poor people over there having to deal with that this morning, killing 18 people. North Korea's trash balloons fall near South's presidential office. So they're sending balloons full of trash from North Korea over to South Korea. These people, is the world serious? These people are so petty. Saying that this is the latest in a series of incidents that have raised tensions and rhetoric on the Korean Peninsula. A boat hits a massive 23-foot shark and they caught footage of it. Wow. So this is a very rare situation. It says rare footage captured by a camera strapped to the back of an endangered shark shows the jarring moment that it was struck by a boat, prompting the animal to dash into deep waters and rest for hours. Oh my gosh. They say that this video could be the first of its kind. Oh my goodness. Ever recorded. And it's highlighting a need to better protect these sharks as well as better understanding of them, according to Dr. Alexandra McInturf, who's a research associate at the Oregon University there. What a hot mess. The poor thing had to rest for hours. Wow. That makes you wonder. We think that sharks are so resilient, and I'm sure they are, no doubt about that, but still, you collide with a boat, I guess that's no fun. So, in other international news, Russia is offering Moscow residents a record $22,000 to fight in Ukraine. Looks like they're running out of soldiers. So they're looking for anybody to fight, and they will give you $22K. This is authorities in the city of Moscow now ordering an extra sign-on bonus for new recruits to go and fight in Ukraine. And it's the first sign of a scramble to boost Russian troop numbers for them. Why don't they just pull out of Ukraine and leave those poor people alone? You know, Ukraine is like David and Goliath, the little train that could, because this war has actually been going on for years now. I can't believe it. And Russia thought that they would have fallen within days or a couple weeks. And as it turns out, that has not happened. They just keep fighting, keep going. And so now Russia looking for additional troops. I mean, listen, the devastation has been real for the people of Ukraine, without a doubt. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandy, your favorite caller.
Good morning, Mr. Dexter. How are you?
I am fine. You know, the Lord has fulfilled his promise. I'm alive one more day.
Yes, that's beautiful. Absolutely wonderful.
What I'm calling you about, you know, people are so easy to criticize the police for not doing anything. But when they do something, you don't hear a thing about it. Like those three criminals, this influencer.
We're coming to that. We're definitely coming to that.
Because, you know, it takes a lot of work, and I mean good work, to get people like that. They couldn't even catch him in the United States, and came here and caught him.
Well, not quite, but we'll get into all the details.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get into all the details.
You know, but a big shout out to the police department.
Yes, sure. Absolutely.
And people got to stop criticizing the police because they're not solving cases.
I don't think we stop criticizing them, but we give Caesar what's due to Caesar. So, you know, they've done, I mean, that's what they're there for, mind you. We are paying them to arrest people and solve crime. But yes, thanks for taking some of these people off the streets. And, you know, but,
anyway,
you know, we have high expectations when people sometimes are legitimately afraid, and there's a lot of failures that the people don't even know anything about. So I'm not going to go easy on them because they have an important job to do. But yes, we're going to definitely give them credit in this case. Give to Caesar what is due unto him.
And one joke before I go. This woman golfer thought she was the only one in the whole golf course who was blowing 30 miles an hour. She teed off and hit the ball as hard as she could in the direction the wind is going. Of course, the ball is going about 300 miles an hour, 20 yards away. This guy comes out holding his clutches, and she shouts, she says, "Please accept my apology. I'm a occupational therapist. Please let me help you." He's not responding. So she ran up to him. When she got to him, he had both hands down inside of his pants, holding his clutches. And she says, "I'm an occupational therapist. Please accept my apology." And as polite and professional as she is, she pulls his hand out of his pants, stuck her hand inside, and she says, "Are you okay? Does it feel good?" I say, "Yeah, it feels great, but I still think you broke my thumb."
Oh my goodness. What a hot mess. Thank you, Mr. Dexter.
All right. You take care.
All righty. I thought he was saying crutches as in the man started to walk in crutches. I'm thinking, how did he get crutches so quickly? He met his crotch, his privates. All right, Mr. Dexter. That one was a little bit wonk, wonk, wonk. All right. Damien in the house. Abby is here. Dee Dee, good morning. Shaka Zulu says, what does it mean that the Earth's rotation is slowing down? Yes, honey child, I'll get you some information on that. All right, a couple other international stories. The planet has just recorded, speaking of the planet, has just recorded its hottest day on record. What a hot mess. Sunday was the hottest day in recorded history, according to preliminary data from a climate tracking agency monitoring temperatures since the mid-1900s. It's the second consecutive year that average global temperatures have crashed through shocking climate records and will not be the last, according to climate warming fossil fuel pollution drives temperatures to shocking new highs. You want to hear something crazy? Our desire to save the earth might actually be doing the opposite. So we have all these AI, everybody's into the whole AI thing. I'm trying to get into it myself, just in terms of learning what it can do. But apparently it takes a lot to run these AI systems. And there's something called AI mining. Well, this mining uses a lot of energy. And so there's a whole lot of new discoveries around AI mining and the dangers potentially that it is causing. So I'm no expert on this, but I think this is something that we clearly need to pay attention to. Yeah, all sorts of madness. So we'll see. There's been talk about trying to dig in the ocean bed. Did y'all hear this one? There are business owners who are in the business of like lithium batteries and all this stuff for e-cars and so on. And they want to, they're running out of the natural resources to put together these lithium batteries. Well, they haven't run out, but you know what I mean? They're trying to find new, cheaper sources. And they think that one source that could be extremely beneficial is the ocean bed, the deep ocean, where they're like, oh, nothing lives in the deep ocean. It's so dark down there. Who cares? We can destroy that and we'll be fine. Well, maybe not. Apparently, the deep ocean is extremely mineral rich. And it's kind of like the last frontier because we can't survive down there. Humans have kind of left it alone. And maybe that's a good thing because a group of scientists were out doing some research and they have discovered, now this is a pretty wild story. I was reading this going, They have actually discovered that there is what they thought was just like, oh, the deep ocean is like dead. Very few things can live down there. That's why it's so desolate and it's so dead and blah, 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 blah. Turns out they've discovered something called dark oxygen. Listen, this earth still has a lot to reveal to us. We are so stupid. We don't know what's going on. We need to take our time with nature and just learn, like seriously. So they've discovered dark oxygen being produced more than 13,000 feet below the ocean surface. And they're discovering new species all the time. Yeah, pretty weird. So you're listening to this going, what the heck is dark oxygen? Well, apparently the ocean bed is producing oxygen that we knew nothing about. So the first time these scientists, they were out there with some equipment on the ocean, the first time they got the readings, their sensors, they thought something was wrong with the sensors. They were about 4,000 meters, which is about 13,100 feet below the surface. No light can even penetrate down there. That's how deep that is. No light can penetrate. Can you imagine? And so when their sensors saying that they're getting oxygen, they're like, that can't be right. There's something wrong with the sensors. Ocean scientist Andrew Sweetman said he thought his equipment was faulty, and he sent it back to the manufacturers and said, listen, you need to calibrate this. You got faulty equipment. They sent it back and they said, no, it's working perfectly fine. It happened again and he sent it back again. And they said, sir, the equipment is fully calibrated. It's working fine. There's nothing wrong with it. This is what he said. He said, I basically told my students, just put the sensors back in the box. We'll ship them back to the manufacturer and get them tested because they're just giving us gibberish. Yep. They're working. They're calibrated. He's leading a group of the institution's seafloor ecologists and biochemistry group for the Scottish Association for Marine Science. So what they found is that, photosynthetic organisms such as plants, we know that we get oxygen from plants, plankton, algae, they all use sunlight to produce oxygen, and that cycles into the ocean's depths. But previous studies, they thought that oxygen was only being consumed, not produced by the organisms that live in the deep, deep ocean. Now they've discovered, thanks to this accidental discovery, they're going to challenge this long-held assumption. Wow, this is pretty big as far as science goes, right? And they're saying that oxygen can actually be produced without photosynthesis, which is huge. That's like, I don't know, questioning Einstein's, rule of relativity or something. Like, it's just like, what? Oxygen without photosynthesis? That's crazy. Well, I tell you, the Earth has a lot that we don't know about it yet. So he says you're cautious when you see something that goes against what should be happening. So it looks like Mother Nature is going to reveal a whole new secret. So this study, if you want to read it, go ahead and read it. It is actually published. It was published on Monday in the journal called Nature Geoscience. And it demonstrates how much really that we still don't know about the ocean depths, and underscores what's at stake as some people push to exploit the ocean floor for rare metals and minerals. I say better not let them do it, honey chill. Anyway, go read the study. It's pretty fascinating. And they're always discovering new life at the bottom of the ocean. So there's lots of like new creatures and stuff. And it's pretty interesting to see what they look like. Some of them are like really, really weird. I'll show you a few pictures here in a second. Hold on. Let me see if I can grab a few. But yeah, some of them are like, what's that? Like, that's a sea creature? There's one here that kind of looks like a little bit like a shrimp, but still a little bit different. A lot of them tend to be translucent and stuff like that. But yeah, isn't that amazing? Producing oxygen at the bottom of the ocean. Pretty wild. All right, just goes to show you that there's a lot happening on this earth that we still have zero clue about. And so, we should be collecting data and learning and trying to not destroy so much of it. Hold on, I'm getting some pictures ready to show you guys, because this stuff, anybody else fascinated by this stuff other than me? I'm a little bit of a science nerd. Like, I probably would have never really been a scientist, but I like to learn, generally speaking. And I find this stuff fascinating. I love to look at these things. I love Nat Geo and all those types of things, to just learn. I'm like, that's pretty cool and interesting. Yeah, I'm all about it. All right, let me show you guys these. Good morning, Latoya. How you doing? Let me see here now. Look at some of these sea creatures. They're pretty. Some are very, very colorful. And kind of weird at the same time. Yes. Look at this one. Whoa, what is that? Mind you, I wouldn't want that swimming up next to me. That's for sure. I'd be like, eh. Good morning, caller.
Miss Sandy, how are you today?
Yes, I'm good. How you doing?
Well, I just want to ask you a few questions, and I'm going to give you a comment.
Okay.
I used to be the bailiff for the court, right?
Oh, yes. Okay.
And I used to work with Judge Moody, Crippling Douglas, Judge Summerfield, and the present Chief Justice father, Mr. Ramsey. And they always told me that a lawyer can make a mistake.
Yes.
But not a judge.
Oh, they told you that? Seems like they got it wrong.
Well, that's what they told me, because they said there is no excuse for a judge to make a mistake. They say a lawyer can, but not a judge. That's what now. This is Judge Summerfield now, Judge Moody, Judge Crippling Douglas, and Judge Ramsey. Now they were all high judges, and I'm wondering how this gentleman, Mr. Stanley, I think his name, could make an error. Yeah, you know what I mean? So can you explain this to me? Because this got me puzzled. I mean, this is the court of law, and imagine if the judge make a mistake. So, I'm puzzled, but I want to hear your opinion or some other one's opinion. But these four judges that I work with, that's what they told me, that they said you cannot be to make a mistake. You cannot afford, because who else is higher than them?
Of course.
And, and the part with that, this is another thing that me personally think. If I made an error and the case is done, I wouldn't want to blame and say, well, it's an error. And, but it looks bad on him. And I don't know who he has to answer to. I don't know who else he has to answer to.
Everybody has somebody to answer to. You better believe that one.
I'll hear what you got to say, Mom. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, we'll get to that here in a second. I know we discussed it last week as well. But look at this little creature. He almost looks like, I don't know what to make of this one. Those look like little legs. Pretty cool, though. Look at this one. These are all like new creatures that they're discovering all the way on the bottom of the ocean bed. Look at this. That one looks like he probably moves really, really fast. Good morning, Miss Jean. Pretty cool. I love it. Oh, Miss Jennifer says she's here every morning, mostly on the radio. Thank you so much. Johan's in the house. Lavana, good morning. She says, thanks for sharing those brownies. Johan feeling salty. He didn't get any this weekend. He said, I hope they get sick. 2 damn teeth. Oh my gosh, Johan, you got to share. Didn't you learn this in kindergarten? Sharing is caring. Did no one ever tell you? Connie says, I'm still waiting on mine. We have to have a brownie party, child. Barbara says, send me some to the UK. Aliano, happy belated birthday. Everton is in the house. All right, we're going to get to the famous internet scammer here in a second. But there's so much more to this story, Johan, than meets the eye. And there's a broader takeaway here about how, as Caymanians, we're so fooled by people. They sure can get one over on us. All right, morning, Brother Paul, joining us from Bermuda. Next time you're here, link me. I'll get you some brownies for sure. All right. So, to answer that, listen, I'm all about answering questions. There's something I was reading recently. Did I send that to a friend of mine? I have a bit of a pet peeve about people who don't answer a question. I'm actually reading something right now in the Harvard Business Review. I know, call me a nerd. But it's about it's entitled The Surprising Power of Questions. So it's all about why a lot of people just simply don't ask questions. So here's the summary. It says they ask questions, but they don't answer it. It says asking questions is a uniquely powerful tool for unlocking value in organizations. It spurs learning and the exchange of ideas, and it fuels innovation and performance improvement, and it builds rapport and trust among team members. It can mitigate business risk by uncovering unforeseen pitfalls and hazards. But few executives think of questioning as a skill that can be honed or consider how their own answers to questions could make conversations more productive. That's a missed opportunity, according to the Harvard Business Review. The good news is that by asking questions, we naturally improve our emotional intelligence, which in turn makes us better questioners, which is a virtuous cycle. The authors draw on insights from behavioral science research to explore how the way we frame questions and choose to answer our counterparts can influence the outcome of conversations. And this isn't just in the world of business. I'm now reading you this and you're going, oh, honey child, Sandy gone intellectual on us, take off the university hat. But this is a teachable moment, because asking questions, answering questions allows us to engage in this amazing conversation, exchange of information, ideas, and we can push the needle of understanding a little bit further. This then goes on to say that they offer guidance for choosing the best type, tone, sequence, and framing of questions for deciding what and how much information to share to reap the most benefit from our interactions, not just for ourselves, but for our organizations. And I'm going to say beyond organizations, doctors as well. And doctors as well. I was reading something about doctors. Communities as well. Okay? So asking questions are important. On Friday, I think I told you guys last week, I was having some real pain in my, well, I didn't quite know how to explain this area, but it's like, I guess not really the shoulder, but it's all attached. It's in the shoulder region. And so it was like the front section, like literally I could pinpoint it, like it was right in here. So it's kind of close to the collarbone, but not really the collarbone, like off to the side. And so, you know, I was tolerating it for about a week. I thought that it was actually getting worse. And so I decided to go see a specialist. That's what doctors are for. They're the experts. And so I went to Health City. I contacted them late Thursday and I said, oh man, 2 nights in a row, I haven't slept well. I'm having a lot of pain. Like this, you know, I don't want this to become a chronic situation because that's happened before where I've just tried to ignore the pain and try to suck it up. And that does not work out well for you. So I went to see Dr. Naranjan. Big shout out to Dr. Naranjan this morning. Thank you, sir. I went to see him. And one thing I know is when you go to see a physician, ask a lot of questions, right? And a good physician, listen to me now, a good physician, I would say a great physician is going to have no qualms with allowing you to ask questions and they're going to break it down for you. In fact, I said to him, oh, wow, this information is so useful. Do you mind if I record you? And he was like, no, sure, you can go right ahead. And so I recorded him giving the explanation because I really wanted to share it with you guys, you know, because again, these are learnable moments and teachable moments, right? So let me just see here now. So give me 1 second. I'm going to find that. That was Friday. What was Friday's date? Friday was the 19th. So I'm going to find it. All right. So yeah. He quick time took me in to do an x-ray, told me what the protocol would be. He explained further off camera as well. I should have gotten all that stuff. But so I was very, very pleased to have a proper explanation as to, you know, what is actually going on and what the treatment course would be. So I'm happy to report, quite frankly, that after my, he gave me a prescription, and after taking the very first one, by that evening, I already had 0. Well, it went from being like a 7 or 8 on the pain threshold all the way down to like a 1.5. Like it was a significant reduction. So thank you so much, Dr. Naranjan. And I'm going to continue taking the medication because it's really important that, you know, you take the full course of it. So I'll share that with you guys. I'm trying to see where I put it. Oh, yes. Yes. I'll share that a bit later on. All right. So questions are important, folks. You know, remember when you were in school and your teacher always said, there's no such thing as a wrong question or bad question. Like they were encouraging you to be inquisitive, encouraging you to ask and not be afraid to ask questions. Because I think a lot of times in life, we're afraid to ask questions. And I hope that on this platform, they would say, oh, there's no such thing as a stupid question. Well, I'm not going to go quite that far because, you know, we like to be honest with you all. There are stupid questions. I'm going to be quite honest. Oh man, let's just be honest. However, I think that in the vein of having a proper conversation, we say there's no such thing as a stupid question because even a stupid question can lead to a teachable and learnable moment, right? So that's why we say there's no such thing as a stupid question, because we want to encourage you to ask questions, ask away. And to that caller's last point, there's no such thing as a stupid question. Now, it's interesting that back in the day, I know Symphonies is like, that's a lie. Every question, they don't know the answer, is a stupid question. Is that what your teachers taught you? I mean, my teachers, of course, I largely went to school in the States. They were like, ask questions. Don't be afraid. And I'm a questioner, generally speaking, anyway. Sometimes that doesn't bode well in relationships. Like I've had conversations in like my personal relationships where somebody says something to me and then I ask a question and they're like, how are you going to respond to a question with a question? And I'm like, because I'm seeking to understand what it is that you want or what you're trying to say. So I'm clarifying. So if you say something to me and I said, so you think that and you're like offended that I'm asking a question, I'm just seeking clarity. And a lot of people get upset when you're trying to seek clarity, honey child, because that you have these little short snippets like they've already put down in their little book that especially if somebody is like trying to gaslight you or they're a narcissist, they just throw out these things and then they expect to elicit an emotive response from you. And when you don't give them that emotive response, you go, well, that's interesting. So do you mean that? And then they're like, whoa. Why are you asking me questions? It's like, calm down, honey chill. I'm just trying to understand what's going on here. There are people who just don't like to answer questions. But I'm going to answer the question because one of my pet peeves in life is people who don't answer questions. Whether it's the pageant girls who 90% of them don't know how to answer a question to save their life. Whether it is politicians, 95% of them don't know how to answer a question to save their life. They just skirt around the issue and it's like, that wasn't the question. And you know why that is? Is because a lot of times in their heads, they have an answer about what they want to say about something. And so, for example, I'll give you a perfect example. If you ask a question about the economy, right? They're going to say, this is the answer. And you're like, but that wasn't my specific question. To be honest, the economy is, it can be a big question. It can be a big discussion. But really and truly, my question was specific to this area of the economy. And they're not ready to answer that. So they just give their, pre-prepared answer that's already in a box that's like super, super convenient. And you're sitting there going, but that's not my question. All right. So here's the thing. He said that when he worked as a bailiff, he had senior judges, you think that they know everything and they're experts in the legal system, tell him that judges can never get it wrong. Well, I don't know why they would say that because they're human beings. And contrary to popular belief, human beings do get things wrong all the time. And it doesn't make a difference, quite frankly, what your area of expertise is. Doctors get it wrong. Shocker. I'm surprised when people say to me, oh, well, I went to this doctor, he got it wrong. I'm like, you do know that medicine is not an exact science like that. You can't just walk in and the doctor takes a scan and this is definitely what's wrong with you. Sometimes they can do that. And other times it's a process of elimination. Okay, we know it's not this, but it could be this, this, and this. So we start to explore. Maybe we'll do with my shoulder, maybe we'll do an x-ray first and we'll see if the x-ray picks up anything. If that doesn't pick up anything, this is normally the course with these types of pains. But a shoulder pain can be indicative of a lot of things. You know that some people who have coronary events, it manifests itself as a shoulder pain. So it could be a heart attack that is happening and you feel the pain referred to the shoulder. So when you drop down with a heart attack, you're like, well, they weren't having chest pains. Oh, but for the past week, they were having shoulder pains, huh? But they thought that was nothing, maybe a strain, something, whatever. So it's not an exact science. And anybody who tells you that anything is an exact science is fooling you. Listen, what did we start off talking about this morning? How they're discovering that there's a real possibility, based on what they saw happening on the bed of the ocean, that oxygen can be produced without plants. We were all taught in science class the importance of plants because that's how the earth gets its oxygen, and that's the only way. Now, that entire hypothesis, not a hypothesis, that has been an accepted scientific fact forever, hundreds of years, could now be completely wrong. And sometimes you get new information that this is why you got to keep learning in life. You can't stay stuck where you are, right? Because new information emerges and you go, wow, what we thought we knew, we didn't know. This is why when we talk about lifelong learning, this is part of the process. So I chuckle when people say, well, I don't listen to these doctors because, 1 minute they tell you something, next minute they tell you something else. And I'm like, that's a good thing. That means that they're not stuck in just accepting old theories just because that's the way that it's been for the past 25 years. They're willing to learn and accept new ideas. And there's some things that change how we understand life. COVID-19 virus, no other virus has done what the COVID-19 virus has done to the human body. It literally infiltrates every single major organ and impacts every single major organ. They've never seen a virus do that before. That's different. And even remember when we had people on the show, all the doctors from USF and all over the place, and they were like, there are things we just don't know. We're going to have to wait and see with this virus, right? This is new, different. We're learning, and we're quickly learning. And the beauty of modern technology and being able to collect data so quickly is that the learning opportunities and the learning curve is a lot shorter than it used to be because there's an exchange of information, right? There are databases, they're collating and collecting what's happening to people. So now we know so much more 4 years on about long haul COVID. In the beginning, they didn't know anything about long haul COVID. Now they know, generally speaking, what percentage of the population is being impacted by long haul COVID. What are the symptoms, how they can better treat and manage it. There's just so many areas out there. That is just one example. So always be willing to ask questions, to learn, to seek answers. So now let's answer the question. First of all, no judge should have ever told you, I'm surprised that you said that they did, that they are the end all, the be all, the know-it-all of all things legal. They're human beings. Human beings, the one thing that we can accept is we are faulty, okay? We're not perfect. We're subject, in fact, the opposite, we're subject to a great deal of imperfection. Nothing wrong with admitting it. I'm only human, honey child. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to get things wrong. So I tell people, don't be looking at me for perfection. Yes, there's sometimes I'm going to mispronounce a word. I'm going to misspell a word. I might even hurt your feelings unintentionally, but I'm only human. And I think you have to be willing to, number one, admit your mistakes. And if required, an apology is also warranted. So I can't imagine a situation where a judge would have ever thought for real, that they get it right all the time and they never get decisions wrong. If that was the case, as a good learned friend of mine would say, mind you, I use that term very, very loosely because I'm not in the profession, but learned friend said earlier this week when I was asking, is there any recourse for when a judge gets it wrong? And she said, no. She said, that's why you have the appellate system. That's why people have the right to appeal and why decisions are reversed on appeal all the time. Because judges get it wrong. I thought about that. I said, well, I guess that's certainly one way to look at it. Now, I think what's interesting about this, this particular case that we're talking about with the McKeeva Bush situation, where the judge admitted to getting it wrong, is that in his decision, which he actually had embargoed and then released, he admits himself before an appellate court could say, honey child, procedurally, you got it wrong, right? The reason why you might have done it was correct, that there were some issues with this case, issues with trying to compel a witness to testify when she didn't want to. But the solution isn't to throw out the entire case. And that's where he got it wrong. So judges get things wrong all the time. They're human, just like everybody else. And they are subject to getting things wrong. Yes? I hope that answers the question. So I think what happened, sir, is, was that Mr. Dean or his son? Their voices sound so much the same sometimes. Was that Mr. George? They sound a lot alike. So I have to admit that I can't always tell them apart. But at the end of the day, you know, he got it wrong. And that's why they're going to appeal this case. And obviously the appeal might be very, very winnable from that perspective. Good morning, caller.
Morning. To the judge who was careful enough to correct himself, I'd like to say thank you. I wish we had more judges like that instead of digging in their heels and insisting that they're right even when they're wrong. Mm-hmm. The difference between those two judges could be millions of dollars and years of fighting over issues. Mm-hmm. And I applaud the judge for having the courage to make such a decision.
Yeah.
That's what
for sure. And here's the thing, right? When you are an individual, I know this person said to me, oh, well, that's why you have the right to appeal. The way I kind of see that, to Denny's point, is appeals cost money and time and resources that you may not have the benefit of. And this is why, you know, let me be very, very honest here. I can't just run out here and be hiring a QC to take on a case. They're expensive. You're going to have thousands and thousands of dollars. So lawyers and judges might think, oh, well, you have the right to appeal. But how realistic is that right to appeal for the average person? Just from that perspective, you're not even yet getting to the questions about, in this case, for example, how this has negatively impacted the complainants in this case.
That's right.
Right? The psychology of what the psychological impact of what this has done to the complainant who wanted to be there is astronomical. Nobody can understand what she is going through. This girl had to be put on medication because of the trauma and stress that she says that she endured having to go through what she did with Makiva Bush groping on her and bringing back memories of other instances where she has been unwillingly touched and unwillingly groped. It's a lot. Yeah. And now to subject her to another trial? Whoa. It's a lot.
Well, I would like to encourage the entire judiciary to follow the judge's example and make sure that you get things right. And if you don't have it right, have the courage to change it.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Thank you so much. Connie says, but wait a minute, Connie, that's Evelyn. I'm just looking at the picture now going, wait a minute here. That's your AI generated photo. It looks good though. Girl, them AI photos for you be doing such a beautiful job. Are you blocked with your other account? Why are you using this one? Or did you change your name? Okay, Evelyn says, I was like, who the hell is Connie? Okay, so whenever you go to the doctor, do they test you for the process of elimination first, then treat you for whatever? I don't know. I'm just asking a question. I'm in class. Well, I think it depends, Evelyn, on what you have. There are certain things that are much easier to diagnose than other things. And there are certain things that it really is a process of elimination, right? The body can, like I said, it can refer pain. So you're having pain in one area, but it's being caused by something else. You've got cancers that hide extremely well in the body. There's no real signs of it. there's a lot that's happening in the world of cancer research, and some interesting things that happened. I was just reading a couple days ago that is going to really change the whole world of potential cancer treatments. There's one, I'm not going to go into any detail, but it's a huge breakthrough with some women. And I think this one was brain cancer. But I mean, no. Pancreatic. One was brain. So there's a cancer breakthrough. Sees women's brain tumor almost disappear in just 5 days. So this is massive. And of course, early stage of the research. And then there was one in relation to a new gene that has been discovered that makes pancreatic cancer spread, which is a major milestone to curing the world's deadliest cancer. So they've discovered a gene that spreads it. And once they've discovered the gene, that means that then treatments can hone in on that gene and how, like, gene therapy and what to do. And, so it's a first early step at Nottingham Trent University, at the University of Nottingham, Stanford University, and the University of California, and Cedars Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. But this is huge. So again, it's going to depend on a lot of things. There's no simple answer to that, Irvin. It certainly depends on what you have, right? Because some things can lay dormant in the body and you don't know you have them until they're late stage. And sometimes you just don't know. You just drop down dead and they're like, what happened here? We thought this person was healthy. And then they cut you open. They start to explore what happened, and they might find something. There are times people die and they don't even know why. They're just like, heart attack. When they don't know why, they just say your heart stopped, because, eventually your heart stops for everybody, right? Good morning, Miss Sue. Al says, nature will always rule. No trust in humans for me. We make up stuff. Well, to be very, very clear, I think as human beings, we have done an amazing job as a species. Let me not give us too much credit. In some respects, we've done an amazing job as a species in using technology and medicine and discovering, listen, millions of lives have been saved because of penicillin, vaccines, modern medicine. We can have surgeries. We can prolong life. We can replace limbs. We can give you a new knee and, all sorts of new joints, but it's not perfect. It's not about perfection. I think anybody who's expecting perfection has a lot. You have to align your expectations with the real world. It's just not going to happen. Okay. You are most welcome, honey child. Good morning, Sophia. Al says, all doctors do is experiment in patients. Well, there's a degree of research and experimentation that's needed for them to learn as well. Let's be very, very honest. But, I would say that, most doctors kind of know what time it is, and they know what it is that they need to do. All right, let's move on. Scammers. We live in paradise in a way. A beautiful country, beautiful beaches, beautiful people. What do they say? Sun, sand, and what's the other S? Sun, sand, and I feel like there's another S in there that's supposed to make life fun. Anywho, whatever it is, you fill in the blank. People love coming to paradise. They have a great time. They're like, yeah, we love it here, Miss Sandy. I want to live here. The guests that come here. Oh man, sand. Oh yeah, surf. I was thinking about something else for a minute there. What is it? Sand, sun, and surf. That's the front thing. The surf. Are you sure? Sun, sand, and sea. I think that's it. Irvin, that's where my mind was going early this morning. Naughty girl. Sun, sea, and sand. I'm sure that's what I was really supposed to be thinking. Yes, honey child, not the other S-E something else. All right, moving along. So, it's an attractive place. People come here and they're like, oh my gosh, oh, we love your little chickens. They're so cute. And I'm like, really? Those roosters, take them with you, please. Put them back at American Airline. Take them back to Florida or wherever you're from. New York could do with a few chickens, I'm sure. You know, all right. Honey child. They think this is paradise, and it is paradise compared to a lot of places in the world. Don't get me wrong. However, there's a lot that we need to be working on as well. Now, there are instances when people are attracted to us for all the wrong reasons, honey child. They love Cayman because they think we are simple people. Sometimes we are simple people, meaning that we are too trusting. We let any Tom, Dick, Harry, Joan, Joanne just come in here and do whatever they want. Say whatever they want, and they literally get away with it. They con us. Oh God, I can talk about some famous con artists that have come through these parts, and we just accept them like nobody's business, honey child. So we're easy prey. A lot of Caymanians are not savvy. We grew up trusting people. You know, everywhere else in the world, they're like cynical. You see this all the time. You walk on the streets of New York, most people are not going to speak to you. What? Chat, please. You try and talk to them and they're like, what are you talking to me for? What do you want? You trying to rob me? Here, it's the opposite. That's why a lot of times, especially our European counterparts or North American counterparts, when they come here, they don't know how to say good morning. They don't know how to say hello, honey child. They're offended when you try to speak to them in public, in fact. Not realizing that, hey, that's just who we are as Caribbean people. We're just friendly people. They're like, oh, you want something. What are you trying to scam and rob me? Don't talk to me. Listen, I've done this experiment countless times. I'll sit at the coffee shop. Remember the coffee shop when it used to be there on the corner in town across from the courthouse, Cafe del Sol, when they were there? I didn't like to sit there too often because a lot of people sit there and smoke, like the visitors. And I was like, do you see the no smoking sign? But anyway, you could stand there literally and say good morning. And the people who are more likely to say good morning to you are Caribbean people, Caymanians, Jamaica, just Caribbean people as a whole. And then the North American people, whatever, they're kind of like, English people, they're going to look at you like, what are you saying morning for? Sometimes they warm up after they've been here for a minute and say, oh, wow, this is a nice friendly culture that you came here for. This is why you moved to the Cayman Islands, honey child. Sort of. Right? To be friendly, be in a nice warm environment. You can say hi to people. Nobody's going to bite you. We're not trying to rob you in the middle of the day and take all your money. So there's a difference. There's a cultural difference that is palatable at times. Yes. And so that friendliness has both positive and negative elements to it. Yeah. It means that we are easily fooled as well by people who come here who mean us no good. And trust me, enough of them coming off the airplane every day. Sometimes they're visitors. They're just coming for a couple days. Other times they are here to live amongst us, work amongst us, and they don't mean us no good. No, honey chill. Y'all soon find out. They're coming to take your job and they're going to undercut you in every which way they can. So recently we got some Brazilians. We mentioned this yesterday, who the police are looking for, criminals, allegedly, con artists. We have Americans, not surprised with them. I'm going to tell you the truth, from New York. No surprise there. Running a credit card fraud. So, they were arrested. Somebody said they were arrested like on their second day here. So it's like they came here with the premeditation of carrying out these scams with other people's credit cards. And they were on a mission. Staying up Cayman Kai, I understand. Caibo area. The popo nabbed them real fast. Didn't help that they were black, honey child. Because, you can stand out more when you're a black man committing fraud than a white man committing fraud. Let's just be honest. You might get an extra 2 days as a white man committing fraud. But when you're black, they're like, yeah, from New York. We know your type. Well, it turns out you would have been spot on if you were profiling these individuals. But they kind of had people fooled. And I suspect that in the United States of America, and right now they're up at Northward, His Majesty's Palace at our expense. Let him stay there. Some of y'all were commenting that, oh my God, they're going to teach some of our criminals how to con people. Child, our people don't need to be taught that either. Let's be honest. They know how to con people. So they're up there now, boo-hooing, crying their eyes out because they got 18 months in a Cayman jail. Well, it could be worse. I want to say to, what are their names again? Hold on, let me tell you who they are, honey chat. I want to say to Dave, what's your name again? Dave Obasiki. And it's Dave Obasiki. What's his other friend name again? All right, so Dave Obasiki. Oh, Lord. The other one is named, I'm trying to remember their names. Anyway, Dave Obasiki, Sean Luke, and the other one's name, I can't even remember now. Anywho, you know who you are. The three of you. Let me just say that, interestingly enough for you guys, you're going to get to enjoy a little bit of hospitality in a prison. But listen, it could be far worse. You could have got put in prison in Honduras. Ooh, honey child, y'all better not go there and mess around, because that's a different kind of prison life. Even a Jamaican prison would have been real tough on you. Cayman prison, y'all will be all right. They're not going to do nothing much to you. Unless you get put in with the Barnes felon, then, he wants to be bunkmates in a different kind of way that y'all might not be up for. But I understand that while you're in prison, you got to do what you got to do. Anywho, y'all will get fed. I don't see you losing any weight. You'll be fine. Apparently, they were really, really upset when the sentence came down. 18 months. Oh, God, we're going to put up 18 months in jail. Oh, my God. Okay. Don't come to paradise and try it. So I read the story that Renee put up about them getting 18 months, and I started looking these guys up. I tell Renee, I'm like, Renee, you got to be more inquisitive, girl. Don't just write the story that the police send you. Start asking questions. Like me, I'm so nosy. I'm like, who comes here and does this? Who are these people? Well, lo and behold, here's what I found out about who they are. Look here. Ba-bam. All right, honey child. On your left, or my left, I should say, we have Dave Obasiki. I think you pronounce it Obasiki. I think that might be missed a typo there. But anyway, Obasiki. And then we've got Sean Luke. Both of these brothers, former criminals in the big United States of America. So, they have a way with thievery, apparently. Criminals. Now, listen, I believe in hold on now, not restoration, reformation. Reformation? Is that the word I'm looking for? The ability to reform oneself? Is that the right word? I got to think now, because that woman got in my head. With restorations, I'll be saying that word from now till eternity. Reformation? Is that the right word? The ability to reform? All right. Well, I believe in it. I think people can reform themselves. It's possible. Good morning, caller.
I think the word you're looking for is rehabilitation.
Well, it wasn't really that. I was actually looking for reformation, but it still sounds a little bit weird. But yeah, same thing as rehabilitation. So we can go with that one if that makes you feel better. But I was thinking about the reforming, listen, you can do it on your own. You don't have to be a thief just because you made one mistake of stealing from people. You can do better. Thank you, caller. Appreciate it. You can tell when somebody's a school teacher. I love me school teachers. But no, honey child, this man not reforming. No, sir. Neither one of them. They've been at the rodeo before. So let me tell you what they have done. Dave, he's the main highlight of today's program. Reformation, yes. He was involved 10 years ago, back in 2013, in a scam. Funny enough, not with any of the other guys. I guess he's moved on from those friendships. They've outlived themselves. Similar sort of thing. Using people's credit cards in order to carry out certain fraudulent acts, because if the credit card ain't yours, that means the money ain't yours either. So he was stealing credit card fraud. They were arrested in Connecticut, where they were caught trying to scam at a CVS pharmacy. So they were starting out a little bit small time-ish, I guess. Yeah. At the time, he was 22 years old, of 217 Street at Cambria Heights, New York, charged with 6 counts of possession of an illegal or fraudulent credit card, a single count of conspiracy. Yes, conspiracy. Why does that sound wrong? Conspiracy, yeah. To unlawfully use a credit card, and conspiracy to commit 6th-degree larceny. In other words, he's a thief through and through. All these are what we call dishonesty offenses. Okay? His co-accused, there's some other guys. All right. Dude's a thief. Now, what is interesting about him is that he has done something that I would say is part of the American dream, honey child. The guy on the right, Sean Luke, he also now is sitting in our jail. And he was arrested, unrelated to the initial arrest of Dave. They probably didn't even know each other back then. But he was arrested in a gift card scam. Similar thing. Taking gift cards that don't belong to him and trying to use them in order to get money and, get rewards and so on. So he was charged with dishonesty. Him and a woman actually was doing it. 2 New York residents, Ocean City, were arrested on theft charges. This was back in 2015. Last week, after allegedly carrying out a gift card scheme at several resort area businesses, totaling thousands of dollars in August of 2015. So he was picked up by the Ocean City Police Department on August the 28th, and they were investigating a series of suspicious purchases that had been made at numerous resort businesses. And during the investigation, it was discovered that he had a female companion, suspect and male suspect, that's Sean Luke, were purchasing large quantities of gift cards using various types of other Visa gift cards containing stolen credit card information. So they seem like they're in the stolen credit card business. They love it. Several of the purchases, it says here, resulted in the businesses losing a significant amount of money. Total of 6 businesses in Ocean City suffered a combined loss of roughly $5,500 in gift cards between August the 14th and August the 20th. So he's working hard. Sean Luke, 23 at the time, back in 2015, of Rosedale, New York, and Aaliyah Johnson, who was 20, of Queens, New York, were located and arrested around 10:30 a.m. Luke and Johnson have been charged with theft for less than $10,000, 3 counts of theft for less than $1,000, and a theft scheme less than $10,000. All right. So he's another criminal. That's the 2 of them now. 2 of the 3 that are sitting in our jails. The third one, my investigative skills couldn't find anything on him. He was a little bit hard to pin down, honey child, but that's okay. I'm still digging because you know what they say surfaces to the top. But let's talk about this fella. Whoa. Can you believe that's the same guy? That was his arrest back then in 2013. And this is him now. Lord Jesus, he cleaned up well. This is what I'm telling you. There is hope for reformation. You can reform yourself from this to this to this life. Look, yeah, private jets, designer clothes. My boy was literally flying high. Honey child, what a mess. Rags to riches story. Con artist to, well, wonk, wonk, wonk. Not so fast, Sandy. This man wasn't reformed. He just discovered that the biggest con in the world, and we got some people right here in Cayman that live on social media, be pretending. He discovered that the biggest con in the world is to pretend to be something you are not. Look at him. Yeah, honey child, you take that. This brother was living a life of apparent luxury. Well, con artists have been around as long as, you know, from Adam and Eve, honey child, pretending to be something that they're not. And it is easy up to a certain point. We've seen people, they made an entire movie. What was that one about? Anna? What was the Netflix special about Anna, the con artist, claiming to be, you know, uber rich and leaving thousands upon thousands of, you know, bills at the hotel. The only difference with Anna is, what was the name of that movie? Hold on. Inventing Anna. Yes. The only difference with Anna, because again, you know, she's the right shade of melanin, she got away with it for a lot longer than anybody else had. If that was a black person, let me be honest. One night of not paying your bill at the hotel, you would not have been able to convince anybody else to give you the second night. Oh yes, the money's being wired from my trust fund. They'd be like, honey child, you ain't got no trust fund. You look at you from Queens, New York. You better pay that damn bill. So, you know, Anna was able to get away with it because, yeah, she was good and she looked good. She looked the part. Well, this guy here that I'm showing you now, this is Dave. Let me show you remind you of what Anna actually looked like. Some of y'all don't forget. Like, Sandy, who the heck is Anna again? Her. The movie made her look better. But I guess if you put makeup on her, she probably wouldn't look too bad. All right, so she was running a scam, rich people style, raking up all kind of bills and everything. This girl was next level. I mean, she was something else. People do it all the time. There's a lot of crypto scammers who've been scamming y'all, crypto millionaire scammers, right? Living large off of your seed money. They're flying private jets, multi-million-dollar homes, all sorts of stuff. Living the life off of poor people money, claiming that they've invented something. There was another one who claimed that she invented some medical device that could take your blood without taking your blood. Some foolishness. And she had people fooled. As they say, you take your bucket to the well every day and one day the bottom going to drop out. Well, that's what eventually happens with all scammers. You can't maintain it forever. Some of them have claimed to be royalty, rubbing shoulders with royals. And then they find out that who the heck is this person? They're not a royalty. They invented who they were. Well, Dave is the Obaseki is the king of reinvention. Look at this. He went from this jailbird to this. In fact, he even had me fooled, because when I first came across his IG account, I looked at it and go, wow. I mean, Dave Obaseki is not a common name. I figured it was African. His parents are Nigerian. I figured that. But I'm like, that's not a common name. And I see this Instagram account. Let me show y'all what he looks like, honey child. The man is like blazing up the place on Instagram. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Could this be the same guy? Boy, they say that the clothes don't make the man, but I got to tell you the truth. You start dressing up like this guy, and truth of the matter is, he had me properly fooled. When I first looked at it, I thought to myself, this cannot be him. Look, yeah, he had me fooled for a split second. I saw it. And then I was like, no, man, this not him balling like this. What the what? And then I went back again. And I said, all right, this is what we know. Fact check. I know this is him. This for sure is him. I cross-checked date of birth, everything. That's him. Okay. Here in Cayman, they're not giving you middle names, but that's him. And then I started looking. I said, well, I'm going to be honest with you. That nose, kind of hard to hide that nose. Look at the nose, honey child. Look at the nose. Yeah. Them nostrils kind of giving it away. My boy didn't go have a nose job. If he had had a nose job, he would have fooled me. Because you see the facial hair looks a little bit different. You see how he can fool you with the facial hair? Men have this opportunity to kind of do different things with the facial hair. You know, he kind of has that line across the forehead. The ears were kind of looking similar. I'm like, At first, I didn't think it was him. And then I started to look a little bit closer. Look at some of the pictures. And then I was like, Lord God, this is the same man. Yo, he is living large. Nobu. Y'all been to Nobu? I can only dream about going to Nobu. Listen, Nobu is a top. That's where all the celebrities go. Right? Nobu restaurant? Yeah, they're big. They got one where California, where else? Bangkok, Madrid, New Orleans. This is like a top restaurant. I don't even want to see what their menu pricing looks like, Chuck, because we probably can't afford it. But this place is known. You got to probably really have some connections to be able to get in there. I'm just saying, their food looks amazing. Los Angeles, that's where all the celebrities, when they want their picture taken, that's where they go and they hang out. So here he is standing up in front of Nobu, taking a little picture in the middle of the road. The man is fly. Look at the shoes. Everything is color coordinated and matches. Here he is in Japan, the airport, talking about welcome to Japan. Here where he said Tokyo dump. What? You get to go to Tokyo? Oh my gosh. I mean, look at him in his little go-kart in the streets. Is this in Tokyo? Well, he says Tokyo dump, so I guess so. I'm like, I don't even know. Welcome to Tokyo Disneyland. This man is living a big life. That's what it looks like, right? Here he is, honey child. Walking with his own personal photographer. Is that a Louis Vuitton cap? Yeah, boy, look at him. Showing you the money. Showing you the money. Oh, yeah, I'm living this large life, child. That's what they want you to believe. Look at the cars. Which fancy car this one is? A Lamborghini, 2024 Lamborghini. Oh, that color's pretty. Wow, that's a nice car. Look. The dude is like balling, like next level balling. This takes it to another level. Look at him. Yes, sir. Yeah, he got the one glove look. Yeah, boy, he's looking fly. The leather pants, the jacket, everything is like flashy. You know what they say about people that are a little bit too flashy? I mean, but this is next level. Here he is again with the G-Wagon. You know how much these G-Wagons cost? I don't even know how much they cost. Too much money. He says, place your order for the first electric G-Wagon. What? Look at that. In Paris, in the streets of Paris. Uh-huh. And here's another Lamborghini. Oh, the yellow is pretty too. Wow. Gorgeous. We got what is this? A Bentley or Rolls Royce? Rolls Royce, 2024. Rolls Royce Spectre. Look at that. Look at the wheels, yo. Oh my God. Yes, honey child. Beautiful cars. And then you look at the house in the background and these people are bawling extra hard. Here he is. Where is this? Nigerian Jollof is better than Ghana. And he's walking now like he's Nigerian royalty. Okay. An escort. Armed escort in Nigeria, because you know you need it when you go there, honey child. I'm saying. Ooh, honey child, you can't be too fly in Nigeria without an armed escort. So there he is with his armed guards driving off an Escalade. Yes. Here he is now. What is this supposed to be? A private jet? Playing spades in the air, he says. The art of the game. Balling and private jets. My God. Here he is standing up in the street. No document loans. Because that's his business that he's supposedly in. Trying to get you into fancy fly cars when you know you can't afford it. But he's like, you can live that lifestyle. He was teaching courses on you can be like me. Financial freedom. I'm going to show you how to do it all. Come to find out he's nothing more than a common thief. Good morning, caller.
Morning, Sandra.
Yes,
I have
honey
a question
child.
for you.
Sure.
Do you think 18 months is a bit too short? Considering I'll tell you why, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because considering how long the average person would have to work just to go to half of those places and do half of the things that he did, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you he probably in his mind, yeah, he crying about the 18 months, but for him, the 18 months is just the cost of doing business. I bet you, my bottom dollar, when he gets out, he's going to do it again.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to just be smarter this time. Because he gets to live that lifestyle. I don't think 18 months was enough. I think he should have gone for at least double or triple that.
The thing is, the court can't look at his lifestyle and what he was doing in New York to add on to the sentence. So their scope is very limited for sentencing purposes to the offenses that he's committed in this jurisdiction. But I'm showing the bigger picture here because I think the bigger picture is important.
Well, let this be a warning to all the young people who look at Instagram and talk about they want to be influencers and they want to be YouTubers and stuff. Not everything that glitters is
that's
gold.
Hallelujah, honey child. That's right. And that's the big picture here. Not everything that glitters. Not only is it not gold, it's not even gold plated. This is a fake reality. Yep. Thank you, Colin. Folks, the whole reason why I'm going through this in such detail is because this is a fake reality. I know a lot of our young people look at him, people like him, and aspire to be like them. You know what my aunt Lottie always used to tell me? Don't ever look at anyone and be like jealous of what they have or begrudge them for what they have, because she's like, you don't know how they got it. And I was like, yeah, you're right about that, Auntie. You don't know how this guy got this, what kind of lifestyle this was. All these designer outfits are probably, half of them are probably fake anyway. Right? Look at this car. This is what he said. This is The person said, Dave, I don't want the regular Maybach. I want the V12 S680. Please make it happen. And he's like, brand new 2023, just in time for Christmas. This is what he's delivering. A perception, a lifestyle that is, I mean, this car is beautiful. Who wants a white interior car? Obviously no kids. But this is the fakeness of it. One of his videos, he talked about how the rich people do it. And I've talked about this before because it is interesting. They don't spend their own money. They spend other people's money. So they live off of credit in America. Look at this. Right? This is his wannabe lifestyle. You know, walking around New York in his Paris jacket and outfit. Givenchy. Look at my Givenchy jacket. I mean, I think people have to wear all these labels. They got problems beyond what they're willing to admit. Like, seriously. Crazy. Absolutely insane. Look at the guy behind him looking at him like, who is this black man? Now, here's the problem with social media. Now he's lining up the Porsche. In this day and age, folks, people can show you a lifestyle on social media that you know nothing about. This is all flashy. He's posting all this stuff. It looks good, but don't believe it. We have a lot of these imported people right here in the Cayman Islands. Some of our own people living a fake life on social media. Don't believe it. They want to show their flashy cars, flashy lifestyle. Are they living at home at mama? Can't pay child support. Can't pay their bills. Complaining about CUC when they have a man that has to pay all this child support so that they can travel and live the lifestyle that they want. Not everything that glitters is gold. The last caller said it best. But we are easily fooled. And I'll admit that we're not the only ones. But we are easily fooled by people like this. He's another John Felder of the world. John Felder is a crook. He's a con artist. And our own Caymanians fell for him and his shenanigans, because I say to this day, Randy might be my I like Randy. He's all right. But I tell you what, if I had gone to Randy with this idea that John Felder had, some baked up, cooked up idea, and to Randy's credit, it wasn't really Randy that was fooled. It was Randy's dad. And then he inherited this hot mess with John Felder. And it didn't take him long to figure out he was a con artist. But these same people who invest money in expats who come here with a pipe dream and an empty suitcase, they wouldn't be investing that in me. If I had a pipe dream and an empty suitcase, I'm like, listen, I'm a young Caymanian. I have an idea about vehicles and this and that. We're going to go to Cuba and open up Cuba. They'd be like, no, we're not giving you no investment money. We're not starting up a company for you to go and steal money from. So it's like, we don't even get those same opportunities from our people, our own Caymanians, because they are too busy helping out con artists like this dude or John Felder. Now, I got to admit, this guy is smooth. Some of his videos, look at this with the horses. This probably looks like Nevada or somewhere. He says you still can only take her to Miami. That's Miami? No, he's at #Turkey. Just horsing around. I mean, this is so beautiful. He had a real talent for what the perception should be, making it look really, really good. I mean, this guy was living large. When you hear that 10 years ago, he was stealing from people, now he's still stealing from people, let me summarize it for you, folks. If he was really this fly, we're not talking about cold hard cash. Even if he just had, oh my gosh, that turkey photo, hold on. Even if he just had access to credit and was able to do this stuff as an influencer in credit, he would not be in Cayman trying to hoodwink and steal off of people's credit cards. That is like low balling thievery. He's not even a high-class thief, truth be known. He's not living large to that extent, because he would have been involved in some crypto scam taking millions. Not no thousands of dollars off of people's credit card. See? Bringing out all the diamond Rolexes and this and that. Calling himself the biggest auto broker. So he had this company. The company has since distanced themselves from him, claiming that that he doesn't work for them. See, here he is delivering a Range Rover to somebody. Nicely packaged. This guy's going to give a testimony. Yeah, boy. He's the best showman. Wow. He knows how to put on a good show. That's for sure. Amazing. Right? All these testimonials from clients. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. There it is. Living large, honey child, living large. And that's how he was doing it. Well, now he's living large up at Northwood Prison. I saw him tagging. Now interestingly enough, he didn't have a humongous following. He's still less than 50,000 followers. But he would tag people and claim that he was doing business with these people, delivering cars to them. One lady had 2.75 or 2.5, I think 2.5 million people. And he's like, oh, he got a car delivered to her husband. So, he was trying to rub shoulders with other people who themselves, ooh, what is this one walking around in? No, sir. People who fancy themselves to be, well, you can recognize that Mercedes key anywhere. People who fancy themselves to be influencers. Lord Jesus, can somebody please tell her to cover up her behind? Ew. No, sir. Oh my God, that's disgusting. Lord Jesus, take the wheel. Anyway, I dare say, I don't know what his social media pages are going to look like after he comes out of jail, but he might be looking to rebrand again. The interesting thing is, I noticed that he had actually been, look at the suit and the socks and the shoes, boy, looking good. I noticed that he had been posting whilst here in the Cayman Islands. His last post was up until about July 6th or so. I wonder if he got any footage that he was planning on uploading about his trip to the Cayman Islands before he got put in jail. All right, folks. Don't be fooled by these people who come here with their flashiness, trying to pretend to be something that they're not. This woman goes from a Toyota to a Mercedes, and there he is handing her the key, I guess as a graduation present, and she looks really, really happy. My goodness. A C300, Mercedes 3200. She went from a 2002 Camry to a 2020 Mercedes. Still a used car, but anyway, nonetheless, new to her. My goodness. You saw that logo, his logo, Dave, look at his logo is the DO interlinked. Did y'all just see that just now? That was pretty fly. Yeah, man. Good showman. He was doing it. It's just that none of it was real. Oh my God, a pink Mercedes? How ugly is that? A G-Wagon? Ew, pink interior. Oh my gosh, that is an ugly car. I'm sorry, but just because it costs a lot of money don't mean it's cute. All right. Abby says, have fun, but don't take social media too seriously. Johan says they're chilling in Northwood, laughing at hard time. Well, they're not getting hard time, but I tell you what, Johan, even so, 18 months, he's not going to serve that. He's going to serve 60% of it. But I tell you what, that's a long time to be away from this lifestyle and getting new clients because he is broke. That boy ain't got no money. And so he's not out there conning people and actively working to get more money. So when he comes out of jail, the deterioration in his lifestyle, without a doubt, is going to really, really be felt. So he's going to suffer in more ways than one. I can assure you of that. He's not going to be this fly when he comes out of Northward. That's for sure. So I saw he actually was in Jamaica at one point too. He was posting some pictures in Jamaica. And here he is talking about all praises to the Most High. My goals, more investment properties, more passive incomes, low risk investments, travel more investment partners, more time with my daughter. Oh, he's got a daughter. Poor him. Talking about you can get 50% off of his PSA courses. Or PSA, my courses are 50% off. Enjoy the sale on my birthday. And again, you could go to this PTG365academy.com where he was going to tell you how to be like him. Let's see. And charging people money to be fake like him. I can tell you how to do it for free. Ay. Why is my internet so slow? Anyway, that's the fake lifestyle, folks, that he was flossing. They like to do this nomad, working at the pool, smoking a cigar, and enjoying the good life. He was selling courses for $3.99. You could do a rental course and an academy course for $7.99. There you go. All right. Lesson to all. And when somebody walks through the door and they're trying to sell you something, make sure you know what's going on. Floss Boss says, is he the African Tinder swindler? They had an African one too. I know they had the other European one. Oh, his PTG365academy.com is no longer working. The website's already down. He probably didn't pay that bill with somebody else's credit card. That's so funny. Oh my God. What a hot mess. So the PTG website, this is where you can purchase your dream car. So this was his primary business. Now has at the top, look at it very, very clear, carefully, and right up there. It says Brandon Medord and Steve Obaseki are not employees of PTG 365. I don't know who Brandon is and what he did, but what a hot mess. Shall we call them? I feel a phone call coming on. Let's give them a call. We emailed them yesterday, but they didn't respond to the email. So let's call them. Phone call. New York. New York, New York.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
I wonder if that was his cell phone and it's no longer working. I don't know. What a hot mess. Ay. I tell you. Oh, here's another number. That's a different number? Okay, let's try this one. 516. Yes, 497. All right. Let's see if we can reach anybody.
calling Eric Whitehead at PTG 365. He is unable to enter the phone right now, so please leave your name and number, and he'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
Why does that sound like a fake English accent? That sounds almost as bad as mine. I mean, because my English accent isn't the best, and that one sounds kind of fake. Anyway, they've claimed that they've been in Yahoo Magazine, Automotive Network, Black Enterprise, Essence. And by the way, the dude was featured in Forbes magazine. If y'all think he was playing around and he was small time, his sights were set high. Let me see if I can find the Forbes. Snapchat did a collab with them. Rollingout.com, the Hype magazine. Forbes magazine. Hold on. Let me show y'all this one. This dude was serious, boy. The thing that surprises me about people like this is if they only worked this hard, like at a real job, instead of trying to pretend to be something that they're not, they would be okay. So this is Forbes.com. 3 automotive entrepreneurs help single moms get cars, it says, back in 2019. And there he is. There he is. Oh, so it's him and the guy Brandon in the middle that are no longer with the company. They cleaned it along with Eric Whitehead. They were founders. So 2 of the 3 gone. I wonder what happened to the middle guy. Where's Eric? We know Dave's in jail. I mean, Brandon. Where's Brandon? We had to look him up. He might be gone to jail somewhere else too. Claiming that their projected revenues were going to hit 15 million by the end of 2020. Getting celebrity endorsements and investing 80% of revenue back into the business. Yep. Forbes magazine. There you go. Beware, honey child. Beware. And if it's extra flashy, you got to pay more attention, I think. Al says everyone can't be like Mike. Irvin says was using that online class as a front to cover his tracks, right? Yeah, we're not gonna give him no overtime, Gareth. Live Happy says there's a lot of scammers in Cayman, scamming on a different level. They just haven't got caught. And some Caymanians are in bed with them too, like I said. Most certainly. Celine says, y'all don't think by putting this man away, y'all gonna make him sit there and think of a better way to scam and get away this time. But who knows? People change. Say what now? Let me understand the logic. By putting him away for a crime that he committed, which means that he should go to jail, we should be concerned that by doing that, he's going to have time to think of how to scam other people. I'm pretty sure that doesn't really matter if his life is about scamming people. Putting him in our Northwood jail for a few months isn't going to make one bit of a difference. That's faulty thinking, Celine. I don't even know what that means. So you don't punish people because they might use that time to think about how to be more conniving. Yeah. What's up, Doc? Okay. So he's the son of Nigerian immigrants. They must be super proud. Growing up, he was fascinated with vehicles and dreamed of being an entrepreneur. It's so interesting that when he was reinventing himself, at no time does he ever, his past, where he was defrauding people, ever comes up. And so again, it speaks to the American dream, how you can really fool people. I mean, like, seriously. He says his traditional father only wanted him to be a doctor or lawyer. I think that might have been out the door from a long time ago, but anywho, education is the most important thing for Nigerians, he explains. It's been like this culturally for hundreds of years. My father's also from a different generation where people work 9-to-5 jobs at companies I'm a millennial, he says, raised in America. So my mindset was different. I saw a lot of my peers choosing entrepreneurship, and I wanted to do the same. His poor father, Frank Obaseki, now must be so disappointed, claiming that his father now supports his son's entrepreneurial pursuits. I wonder if poor Frank is coming to the Cayman Islands to visit him while he's in jail. He claims that after graduating from college, which I doubt he did, he didn't want me to fact check that, but anyway, Obaseki turned down a series of job offers and refused to return to school for a master's degree, which resulted in a huge falling out with his father. I think this entire story is fabricated. I don't think the dude has a bachelor's. He definitely ain't got a master's. He's just a common thief and con artist. But he's fabricated this whole story. And again, you know, I'm not calling any names, but just think of some political wannabes who have fabricated their whole lives and stuff as well, pretending to be something they're not. They're so ashamed right now, they can't even return to the Cayman Islands from abroad. Mm-hmm. He said that this was very hard for me because growing up, I lived for the approval of my father. Clearly not if you were scamming people years before this article was even printed. You already had been arrested for common thievery. Not having his support put me in a very low place emotionally. Wow, he's talking a good talk. I felt like I'd be a disgrace to my family. Nevertheless, Obaseki decided to launch a card company with his two founders. They worked hard, and after only 6 months in business, he already was earning more than six times the salary of his previous job offer. I couldn't wait to show my father how successful the business was. After a long conversation, he not only supported me, but told me he was proud of me. That would become my motivation to keep growing and expanding the company. They claim that they donate 20% of their revenue to charity, including helping single moms get cars. That's not charity. First of all, I don't believe it. I don't believe you help 20% with no charity. But helping a single mother get a vehicle that she can't really afford, you're not doing her any favors, believe me. Anyway, there you have it. Instagram personality, crooking the place. I want to know what happened to his business partner, Brandon, because that sounds like a hot mess brewing as well. Brandon, please don't come to the Cayman Islands. We don't want you here trying to scam nobody. Seriously, just stay right where you are. Okay, folks. Irvin says he's definitely a disgrace to his family now. Johan says, FYI, we have Canadian, European, South African, others with zero melanin operating Cayman too, but they're easy in the eyes, so they're also exposed on CMR. Don't have a short memory, Johan. Don't come at your. I can't remember when Sandy pointed out the Canadian guy during COVID. We're the only one who even covered that story. Who got on the private jet and the feds nabbed him. And when we busted open the story, what was his name again? Trying to find that one. Caymanians, being as ridiculous as they are, contacted me about why we should remove the story because, Sandy, he was only arrested. Oh, yes, here we go. I'm going to refresh your memory that we don't care what you look like and who you are. There he is. What was his name again? Andrew McAlpine. Yep. He goes to my church. I could not believe that somebody actually picked up the phone and messaged me. Can you please take that story down? I don't think he did anything. He goes to my church. Him and his wife are such lovely people. I was like, y'all are so ridiculous. I said, yeah, they may very well be church-going people, and they may be lovely people. I don't know. What I do know is the feds went to great lengths to arrest him, and that should not be ignored. There's a reason why they did that. Anyway, he was sentenced in 2023, again, Canadian citizen, and resident of the Cayman Islands, living in a big house down in one of those gated communities. I think he was down Crystal Harbor or somewhere about. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care who his mama is. I don't care who his papa is, and I certainly don't care what he looks like. Sorry, but not sorry. So the lesson today, folks, the ultimate takeaway is they come in all shapes, sizes, and skin colors. Don't be fooled by any of them as far as I'm concerned, right? Some of them are pretty. Some of them are cute. Some of them are living a high life. And still, you have to note they're fraudsters. Yeah, they have the wives that, can stay home and take care of the babies and living this really, really awesome, cushy life. And, writing in letters to CMR, talking about how they thank God because he works in mysterious ways. And this has brought them closer to the Lord. Well, that's good for you, honey child. That's all fine and dandy. But people need to know that you've got to be careful. Be careful who you trust. Because at the end of the day, there are people out there who are looking to make a few dollars off of you and your ability to be incredibly naive and trusting. And whilst sometimes that can be a good thing, a lot of times in this world, it is setting you up. And so as a country, we need to be more vigilant. We need to pay attention. I get it. There are visitors. There's no way, there's system in place to check visitors. It's not like he was coming to work here because obviously, maybe some further due diligence, we hope, would have been done. But, he was seeking to take advantage of people. So incredibly sad when you think about it. All right. So the court list every day is full of these types of people, I must tell you. In addition to that, we have a lot of our own Caymanians, I'm ashamed to say, who make up a good portion of the court list. So they are involved in all sorts of things and activities and drugs and running guns and everything themselves. And so we as a people also should be ashamed of that and really take accountability for, these things as a community, because it makes us all look bad at the end of the day. Try to stay on the right side of the law. Kudos again, as Mr. Dexter said, to the RCIPS who were able to zone in on these 3 criminals and get them off the streets. I know that they listen, I'm not taking anything away from them. They have, a lot of people out there that they're trying to get to that are scam artists and stealing from people. So as a community, let's do our part. If you have information that can be useful to the RCIPS, by all means, please provide them with that information. Live Happy says the slyest set is the Filipinos. Strong Will says, good morning, Sandy. Cayman is their hideaway. And you'd be surprised at how much of that is true. So very, very true indeed. What a hot mess, folks. All right, Irvin, everybody else, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We're going to be posting a story here shortly about a Caymanian sentenced to 5 years imprisonment for drugs. Our own people, honey child. I mean, when I say Caymanian, like Wattlers, Caymanians, son of the soils kind of people. And I don't know what they be doing, but not good. Don't play around with drugs, folks. Don't play around with drugs. It only is going to end bad for you and land you in jail or worse. All right. That's all she wrote. Well, that's all I got for you. Our thoughts do go out to the Filipino community because apparently they're experiencing severe rain, which is flooding. I mean, if you guys see the pictures, go to the website. We just posted the story. Like water all the way up to the chest. Buses and everything else underwater because of severe weather there in Manila. So, wowee. What a hot mess. We're going to send out our thoughts and prayers for them. Gosh. Okay, that's all she wrote. Y'all have a beautiful day. We'll see you tomorrow. Evelyn, wishing everybody a fantastic day. Yeah. All right. Be good.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels and visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.